Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today I am ranking all of the items I used in the month of August for my makeup. Now this does exclude eyeshadow palettes. I'll leave linked if you're interested in seeing my August eyeshadow palette ranking, but this is all the other makeup I used in the month of August, and this is basically just a fun way for me to share with you things I've been using. Some of them I've been using for a long time and some of them are newer in my collection. I used 38 items this month, so let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe, and I would love to have you back again on the channel to talk all things makeup in the comments. I'm also doing a giveaway right now. Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, is the last time that you can enter as of the time I'm filming this. So I will leave linked in the cards that video if you have not yet entered the giveaway and you're interested. So 38 items, guys. I'm going to try to go quickly so that this video is not a million years long, but perhaps you'd like to pause and get a drink, get a snack, settle in for a while. The worst in number 38. It's been worse for a few months. It's the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect. Tons of people love this. It transfers terribly on me up here. Long story short, I've been using this for I think at least 4 months and it's still not gone. It lasts forever, but I don't like it. As always, we're starting with items that are in the bottom that to me are bad products. And then in the middle is kind of like the meh, it's fine, but it's not life-changing. I could take it or leave it. And then the top are the best of the best. So in 37, also in my mind, not a good product, from Gellar. This is the Red Carpet Ready Palette, Face and Eyes. I have on my eyes today, Soft Petal, this eyeshadow, and Purple Haze, these two. These two I like the least. It's got a little pigment, a little something. I'm mostly using these because this is in my project pan, and I did hit pan in this middle shade. Yay. Moon Dust Illuminator is the best. It's like a duochrome white to pink, shifty, like I like it as highlighter. It's just okay on the eyes. But yeah, these two have like hardly any pigment. You have to work a lot for it to even show up. I got this at like $3 for TJ Maxx. So at the time I was like, $3 for 3 eyeshadows, $1 a shade. That's a good price. Okay, well, it's a good price because it's not great quality. Let's just be real. That's how I feel about that one. And by the way, if I say something is bad that you love, please continue to love it. It's just my personal opinion. All right, next up in 36 is the CoverGirl Brow and Eye Makers. It's basically a sharpenable pencil, and it's just like rough. Like I really gotta scrape, and it is scrapey feeling on my eye to get anything to come off of this. So it's just not creamy enough. It's too dry and I have to work too much to get it off. I will say, for whatever reason, since it's brow and eye, when I use it in my brows, I feel like the pigment comes off a lot easier than when I'm trying to use it on my eye. So I've been trying to use it more in my brows than my eye because it's not painful in my brows. But any product that is painful anywhere, in my mind, it's bad. So that's why it's lower. It is higher than the others though, because I guess at least when I use it in my brows, it is pigmented and it stays there and doesn't make a mess. And I can't say that for the other products. In number 35 is the Ritual Defy Luminous Elixir 3-Drop Foundation. I'm actually wearing this one today, and it's just their sample. It's not what they sell now, but even when I go to shake this and I use it, I'm having an issue where the oil and the pigment is not mixing well. Like today, I dropped it out. All I got was oil, no pigment. So I had to like get more than 3 drops to get any pigment. But then I had too much oil and it's just not a good product. It's not mixing well, something with the component and stuff. I'm sure what they sell now, the updated version, is better. But this sample that they originally sold that I'm still using up, it doesn't work well. It just doesn't work well. I guess I rated it higher than the others because when it does mix, it's okay. But that's still a big if, and I'm still going to say it's a bad product. The Coty Airspun loose face powder. This is translucent. I have this in 34 because it stinks. It's so strong. I mean, it's not like Huda Beauty strong, but it's borderline that strong. It does okay as far as doing what it's supposed to do as an actual powder. There are some like kind of hard pieces in there that aren't super finely milled, so it's just not good compared to, I mean, Wet n Wild is better than that, so you don't even have to go more expensive for something that's a better quality. So that's why that is lower, but I did rate it a little higher because at the end of the day, even though it stinks and it's a little chunky, it looks alright on the face in like application. So it got ranked a little higher than the others, but I still wouldn't call it a good product. Now in 33, we're getting to the products that I would say are meh. It's not terrible, but it's not life-changing. This is the Ciate London Wonderland Gel Kohl Liner. This one's black. One end has a fabulous angled brush that I love for smoking out liners of all kinds. The liner is just absolutely mundane. I don't know what else to call it. There's nothing special about it at all. It's not bad, but it's just like, it's a black liner. I truly feel like this part would be worth saving even after the liner is gone, but this is just mediocre. So it can rank it any higher, but it's not abysmal like the other products below it, so it at least had to go here. And number 32, I don't even know if I want to call this a bad or a mid product. It's just not one that I've been reaching for as much as I thought. So there's several products I'll be talking about in this Mob Beauty custom palette that I made. I'll leave link to my video where I try this if you're interested. But this shade I haven't used at all, and the black one I've only used once. Those are cake liners. So I guess I'm just putting them here because I haven't really used them that much. The cake liner was okay when I used it. It was super pigmented, like almost had too much on my brush. So I need to figure that out. Yeah, I don't even know, like I said, that I would say they're bad. I haven't reached for them. So they haven't obviously been super life-changing compared to the other stuff in this kit that I've been reaching for so much, and you'll see is ranked higher in this. But yeah, I haven't made a connection with the cake liners for whatever reason the way I have the rest of it. And number 31 is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I know this was like flying off the shelves when it first came out. Mine's in shade 2. Part of why it's ranked here is the shade. It's a bit too deep. Even now, I'm not super tan, obviously. Hi, look at me. But I'm more tan than I was in the winter, so I retried this past month to be like, let me see if I can pull it off better now. It's still too deep. I think then they had shade 1, but this says shade 2 is fair light. Hello. Apparently 1 must be like alabaster, because this, you can tell, it's too deep. I can mix it with something that's a little bit lighter and make it work. But even if the shade were right, maybe I just need to use less of it. It's like almost too loomy. Like it starts to look a little greasy on me personally. There's a different product that is a glowy product that I love that does not do that to me, that I ranked higher, that I'll talk about. I didn't rank that any higher because even though it gives me a glowy look, it's a bit greasy and I don't like that. Number 30 from NARS is the blush in shade Orgasm. I think I've had this kind of mid-tiered a couple months now. I keep trying to use it just to get some more use out of it. But long story short, it's not bad, but I feel like it's not got a lot of pigment to it. Like there you can see it on my finger a little bit, but it's like, I don't know, almost more like gold than pink. There's a little bit more, but you really have to try to see it, which maybe illustrates my point even more about like the lack of pigment. You really have to work to build it up. To me, I almost use it best as like a blush topper because I think the gold that's in it, you can actually see more than the blush itself. So I don't hate it, but it's just not my favorite blush, so I didn't want to rank it any higher because it's a little lacking in pigment. Number 29 from Laura Lee Los Angeles, the liquid lipstick, specifically in shade Spicy Pink. This is actually my favorite liquid lipstick formula of all time. I love the scent. I love the component, particularly the shape of the applicator, the way it like is shaped to perfectly hug your lip. Truly, I think this one is just rated here because of the shade, the Spicy Pink. I don't reach for this one a lot. My favorite shade in this formula is Jaybird. I think you can usually get these now for like $8. Great price. And yeah, so there's nothing wrong with the formula, the brand, the component, nothing. It's just a shade thing, I think, for me with that one, why I didn't rank it any higher. That's a little nitpicky. So that one is just meh for shade reasons. Another kind of meh product that I use this month is a single shadow. I've been trying to dip into my single shadows a bit more. And as a crease shade, I was trying to show you here, this one right here. This is from Ofra and it's in shade Khaki, this matte. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it was just meh. It was just okay. So I didn't put it in the bottom because it's not poor quality. It does have good pigmentation, unlike some of those other products. But it just wasn't anything fancy or special in my mind, so I didn't feel like I could rank it any higher than that. In number 27 is the Give Me Glow Liner, lip liner, specifically in Dirty Pumpkin. I really did like the shade when I used it. There is the shade there. And I like that this is a twist up. I think my gripe, at least so far with the two I've used, is that when I'm using this, it's not super precise. Like, it'll almost, I don't want to use the word bleed, because that's not right, but it almost like feathers weirdly on the edge, and it's not a precise crisp line when you draw with these. So I'm not loving that, but they were like $1 each, so I can't be too mad at it. And I do love the shades, and I love the like murky kind of grungy undertones that Give Me Glow lip products do provide. So it's not higher because there is that little issue with it, but overall I do like the product. And number 26 from Melt Cosmetics is this little baby lipstick. This one is in the shade Recuerdos. Love this packaging, how it's like literally felt lined on the inside. And here's the baby little lipstick in this bright color. And it's actually a really fun color. It's got this beautiful embossing on the front of it here. Really, really pretty. This is from their Mariposas Butterfly collection. I think I got this one in a mystery box. But I do really like this one. I think I just didn't rank this any higher because I need like a certain look for this shade particular. Like, that's not something I wear all the time, so I love it a lot. But I just wasn't reaching for it as much as some of the other higher rank stuff that I used more frequently because of the shade being for like such a unique situation in my mind. And number 25, I've got this little mini Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. I've been using this almost every day, and I've been honestly liking it just fine as far as the size of the applicator. It's a little crispy, a little crunchy, and that's the thing I don't love about the formula, so it's not like my perfect item, but it's okay. It's pretty good. It's still just okay though. Like, I could interchange it with something else and not miss it totally, but it's not bad. It's just got maybe a little tweak thing here or there that I would prefer about it. And number 24 is the Tarte Maneater Mascara. While I do love this miles and miles above the Essence one, I will say lately I've noticed when I've used it, I'm not liking it as much as I did when I first started. I feel like it's just not super black. Like, it's not got as much pigment as other mascaras, which is like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I have to like build it up, I feel like, to be like 3 coats to get it to where I want it to be. And there's other mascaras that I feel like I get the same results a bit faster and maybe with a darker pigment to it. So again, that's not bad. Like, I'm not mad at it, but it's just not one of the top things of the month. In number 23 is the NYX Brow Pomade. Don't hate this one either. It's fine. I've said this before in other rankings because I use this one every month. I'm just trying to use it up. It's drying out a little bit. Even though I'm really careful to get the cap on tight, it's drying out a bit. And I use this every day, every single time I do my makeup. I can't possibly use it faster. So I feel like you either need a better component to keep your pomade from drying out, or you need it to be less product so that someone can get through it without it drying out. So that's my issue with that one. But beyond that, it's a good product. And number 22 is a single from Touch of Glam Beauty. And this one is called Setting a Trend. It's this one right here. You can see a little divot in it, the green one. And I love Touch of Glam Beauty singles. The top 2 rows in here are all Touch of Glam. I think the only reason I didn't rank this one higher is because it is a bit of a darker shimmer. And I usually like darker shimmers just to be like a transition between the dark matte and the lighter shimmers on the inner portion of my eye. But because this is a little shifty, you almost need to put it over the whole eye to see the shift. But I don't necessarily love putting a dark shade all over the lid. I kind of like it out on the side so you don't see the shifts as much when you do that. So again, it's not the formula or anything. It's just, I think, the shade for me. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes these rankings are just preference. And number 21 from Believe Beauty is the Color Me Cream Blush in Dollface. I told you guys I was going to get tired of this one. I was on a roll with this one for months, and I just got sick of the shade. I think it's a little too cool tone pink for me now. I went through my face. Now we're getting into fall. I want something else. So this isn't bad. The formula's lovely. The price is lovely. The components lovely. Like, everything about it is great. I'm just over the shade. It's just how it is. I'm just kind of over it, and I'm ready to switch it up. So it's not bad. It's pretty good. We're now almost into those top tier products. This is a good one. In 20, man, I'll say this. I gripe about how much this costs. It's lasted me forever. This has been months, probably 6 months at least. I've used this every time. This Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and it's still kicking. There's still some left. I'm wearing it today. Really helps as a base so I don't crease. I get the ultimate pigment as much as I can of the shadows, even these little dusty $3 ones I'm wearing today. And it helps to cover the veins in my eyelids. So I will say it's got a lot going for it. It's really just the price that's a con for me. And number 19 is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Color Corrector. Now, I haven't reached for this one a lot because I usually only reach for this when I don't want to wear foundation and I just want like a little something to cover my redness. But I will say I love the fact that LA Girl has one that is in mint. I feel like a lot of times these green color correctors are just straight up green, and they're too much. It's too green if you're fair. Hard to blend out. But this mint is really, really nice. So this one, it works very well. It's affordable, and I really like the fact that it's a brush tip on here. I think it just comes down to how often I reached for it this month in the ranking, which wasn't a ton. And number 18 is a new product to me this month. This is from Soul Body, which is like ColourPop's sister brand, and this is the Face and Body Bronzing Balm. I used up one of my other bronzer products. The other bronzer that I used up is higher in the ranking than this one. So this one's lower, but let me tell you why. First of all, if it was based on scent alone, this would be number 1 in this ranking. It makes me feel like I'm having a pina colada on the beach, like tropical coconut delight. So if you don't love that, you might not love this. It is scented, but it's not a gross scent. I love that this pan is bigger than the other bronzer I used up. I can actually fit my brush in it, but that makes sense because this is also designed to maybe be a body bronzing balm and not just a face balm, but I'm using it just for the face. And the thing that made this one a little bit lower than the other bronzers, I've got 2 others in my ranking this month, is that it's just a bit too warm to look natural on me. It's passable, but it's quite golden undertone, and a neutral looks a little bit more realistic on me, and sometimes even a cool tone. So this is just pretty warm on me, but the formula and the scent and the application is lovely. And number 17 from Catrice, the True Skin High Cover Concealer with hyaluronic acid. It's waterproof. I've got mine in shade 1 Neutral Swan. This has been my go-to concealer lately. It's got a bit more coverage than the Tarte Radiant that I was loving, but it's very hydrating and it doesn't crease. So this one, it's been lovely lately. Like, there's been days I've just wanted to put that on as foundation because it's working better with my skin than the other foundations that I have that I'm just trying to use up to be done with them. So it's been great. I just feel like concealer maybe isn't as exciting to me as some other products that I ranked higher. It's just more of like a functional product to me, I guess. So I didn't want to rank it higher because there's other stuff that I love this month, and that one, it's like, ooh, I really like this and I'm into it, but it's not a top pick. And number 16 from e.l.f. Cosmetics, the Sun Touchable Whoa Glow 30 SPF Broad Spectrum Sunscreen and Makeup Primer. When I wear this, I don't wear it as primer, I just wear it as my foundation all over my face. I love this. This has a hydrating aloe, hyaluronic acid, and squalene. Great skincare ingredients. This just still isn't my number 1 favorite glowy product of the month, but it's up there. This is good. I do really like this. This one was sent to me, which, whoa, amazing. Like, I love this one a lot. I think this one, I might repurchase this one. It's really close I don't know if I said mine's in shade Sunbeam. It's just not quite number 1 for my favorite glowy product this month. We'll get to that. All right, in number 15 from Mob Beauty, it's the Cream Clay Blushes, the top row here. If you watched that video, you saw I was speechless when I used these. I love them. I love them. Sorry to shout. They're amazing. The only reason they're not a bit higher is because I feel like I haven't perfectly mastered how to get them to crease, or not crease is what I meant to say. When I use them alone, they crease, which I knew that would probably happen. When I layer powder and shimmers over them, sometimes they still crease a little bit. So I've had some people tell me to put the cream on, set it with translucent powder, then do the other powder, shadow, and shimmers on top. I'll try it, but I will say if I have to do all that to get it to not crease, it starts to become a little high maintenance. And I did use eyeshadow primer underneath, as someone recommended I do too. So I just don't think I've mastered the technique of using them yet, but I really still like the impact that they give, and the blending that it gives everything else around look is beautiful. Number 14 from ColourPop. It's their lip oil formula. It's the lip oil formula for me. I completely used up the purple one that I had in my project pan, so I've been using this one, Team Jacob from the Twilight collab. I'm actually wearing it right now. Doesn't it look so much darker, right? It's just like barely there. You can see, let me put on a little bit more. It starts like you can make it a little kind of like deeper, but it really shears out a lot, and it's just really like a clear lip oil at the end of the day. But it's so hydrating, so comfortable, not gloopy gloppy, not too watery liquidy, just like the perfect consistency. And you can't really see, like, it looks like it's super sparkly inside of the component. There's none of that like chunky glitter or anything on the lips too. So that's so good, so nice, so comfortable. This is where we're starting to get into the items where it's fantastic. I love it. Give me, what's that TikTok? Give me 20 right now. Give me 14. What's the number? You tell me. But you know what I'm talking about, the TikTok. And number 14 is the other Touch of Glam Beauty single shadow I used this month. It's this one right here called Lucid Lavender. Now I do like this one, I think, because it is a little lighter shade, and it is shifty. I just didn't rank it any higher because it's kind of smooth. And I've learned about myself that when it comes to shimmers, I like something a little more textured. And if it's too smooth, I don't know, I just don't feel like the shift is as apparent. Maybe that's just me, but that's my personal opinion. So it's good, but I feel like it's overhyped. I saw it hyped for so long that once I got it, I'm like, I don't know. I shouldn't say it's not good. It's very good. It's just not what I thought it would be in my mind. So a bit overhyped. And number 12 is my favorite illuminator. I told you the e.l.f. was good, but this one tops it. It is the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Lit All Over Glow. I have mine in shade Pink Pearl. This just feels a little more lightweight than this one. This isn't like super heavy, but it's definitely more sunscreeny feeling because it is. This doesn't have sunscreen in it, so it doesn't give you the protection, but it's more lightweight because of that. And I think it is truly the nicest glow without any grease. I love it so much. I wear it often in lieu of foundation. It's great. Never would have tried this if I hadn't gotten a subscription box. I just happened to get it in, and I love it. As much as I love it, it just wasn't the top item for me this month. And number 11 is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. This shade is not too warm for me, unlike the Soul Body one, and it's completely gone. This is how I know this is a top item, you guys. I finished this and panned this naturally. Like, I didn't put it in a panning project. It just organically was used up. And that says something to me about how much I liked it if I just, without even trying, used it up. It's still not number one. My gripe about this is that the pan is too small. It's really hard to get any product out of it. They really need to make it in a bigger component, even if it's the same amount of product and they just spread it out more. And number 10 from Kylie Cosmetics is this matte lipstick in shade Rendezvous. This is the shade I actually wore with a lip liner to my wedding. I just love this so much. It's like the perfect, it's not quite red, but it's kind of like a brownie red maybe. It's a little more neutral than a red. But even though it's matte, it's not drying. I think it's super comfortable and long lasting, and I like that one a lot. But still, just not my favorite item. Like, my favorites are like the absolute wow, amazing, such a unique product. I still don't feel like that one is like the most unique product. Now this, and number 9, from the Warlock collection that Fantasy Cosmetica came out with, Ifrit. This is one of their lip oils. Have you ever seen a lip oil this color? Yeah, me neither. And I really, really love it. It's super comfortable, just like the ColourPop one, but I like the fact that there's a little tint to it and it's a unique shade. I think I'm gonna get so much use out of this for fall, for sure. It's really, really just next level, and I love that about this. Speaking of next level, let's go back to this custom palette. This highlighter, oh my, Sparkle Bomb is what they call it. It is also just another level. I mean, you can put it anywhere. It's kind of reminiscent and reminds me of like the Fenty Gloss Bomb, but it's more of a balm than it is like a putty powder type thing. But this, I mean, there's no white cast whatsoever. You get all of the sparkle with no cast. It just has a very translucent, balmy base to it, and I love that about this. Super hydrating too if you have any combo or dry skin like me. And number 7 is this Melt Lip Liner. It's getting down, folks, to the end of it. I've really been using this one a lot. This is in shade Headbang. I really do like the Melt Lip Liners. It's ranked 7 for a reason. It's really good. You can get other good lip liners for cheaper, I will say, but this one, it's lasted a long time. I got that mystery box a long time ago. I'll leave it linked. I mean, it's been over a year and I've used it, I feel like, consistently, and it's still going. So at least for the price, it lasts a long time, just like the Urban Decay one I mentioned earlier, the eyeshadow primer. I love number 6 more. I'm wearing this one today. I have been loving this, the Nimya License to Glow Serum. If this is my favorite glowy product to wear alone, this is my favorite like glowy primer hydrating base product. If there's a foundation that is too matte, too drying, this fixes it every single time. I put this as a base. It's lovely, creates a glow without grease, and it pairs beautifully with foundations. I don't often wear it alone. I go to the Fenty more for that, but that Nimya's been a lifesaver as I've tried to get through some of my older foundations in my collection. And number 5 is the blush from Mob Beauty. The one I have is in M72. I'm wearing it today. It's subtle but buildable, and yeah, it's just super comfortable. I love that these aren't sticky, but it just looks like skin. The texture looks like it's completely natural. It doesn't even look like you have a product on, other than there's a little bit of a flush and a color to it. So this is amazing. It's more like a balm, I would describe it, than it is a cream. It's called a cream blush and a cream bronzer, but they're very balmy to me, the consistency, and I like that. And number 4 is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Care and Glow Foundation in shade 120N. If I've been having like a more special occasion, this is the one I've been going for. It's just got really good, I'd say medium coverage. You can probably build it up to full, but without looking cakey, especially if I pair it with the Nimya Serum. Those two together are really, really nice. I would say out of all the foundations I have now, that one's probably, at least for August, my top foundation that I have in my collection that I've been using. Just really beautiful. It does have a slight like kind of fake rose scent that I don't love, but it dissipates really quickly. And number 3 is the bronzer from Mob Beauty that I have. This one is in M80. And I mean, I've already got a divot in it. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but there's already dips in the blush and the bronzer. Because I've been using them that much, I'm wearing that one today too. And I love, again, like this one, like the e.l.f. one that is now gone, has more of a neutral undertone that fits me a little better and isn't too warm like the Soul Body one is. Soul Body's passable, but this one looks great, very natural, and it actually like sun-kissed portions of the face when I wear it. In number 2 from Beauty, I tried a lot from them this month. I did, you guys, and I love it. This lipstick, I didn't even order this. This was a community appreciation gift. This is their soft matte lipstick in shade M110. I'm compiling right now my fall lip recommendations, and you better believe this shade is on the list. It is so creamy. This is probably one of the most comfortable lipsticks I've ever worn. It's not transfer proof, but it's beautiful on the lips, and the color is just, it's magical. It's not too warm as well. I feel like I like my brown lips the same way I like my bronzer, either neutral or cool toned, and that's a game changer, the lipstick formula, for sure. And in number 1, can you believe it's a lip product? I've talked about this before. It's from Ensley Rain Cosmetics. It is their Rain or Shine color compatible lip gloss. This one's in shade Glamorous. It's just this really pretty brown, but it's a wonderful applicator. I hate those flat paddles. I will say that's the one thing I don't like about ColourPop is they have the flat paddles. I like the angled doe foot a lot better. This just has just a sweet, fresh baked goods scent to it. I love it so much. And this just looks good with like lip liner in this, or even this by itself. It makes my lips look fuller too, I think, like helps smooth out any lines and things, which not all of my other glosses do. It's not gloopy, it's not gloppy. This is my favorite lip gloss formula in my entire collection, and this is the only shade I have of it. I need to get more of these from Ensley Rain, but it's on another level. Absolutely my favorite thing I used this month. So yeah, guys, that is everything from the month of August. I know it was a lot, but I just don't use the same things every day. I truly don't think I can. And why would I when I have all of this makeup? You know, I love rotating things. Even if I use something a lot, I always like to use at least one new or different thing every day, so it ends up being a bigger list. But thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Bye!